I don't think I'm starting my life again. I think I'm starting to understand what life actually feels like for me. And, this is not the version of life that looks good when people talk about it. Not the version that is loud or that's always moving, always going out, always trying new things just because it feels like that's what being alive is supposed to look like. But this is my version. It is quieter, like it's that quiet one, the one that doesn't need to prove anything to anybody, the one that doesn't feel like it has to be everywhere to feel like she exists. I went out recently after not going out for a long time, like proper going out. The music was so loud, people were everywhere, there was light, energy, everything was just moving so fast. And I remember thinking before I went that maybe I actually needed this, maybe I needed to live a little more. Maybe I had been too in my own space for too long. Maybe I was missing out on life. But when I got there, it didn't feel like I was missing out. It felt like too much. I was overstimulated. See, this is not in a dramatic way, not in a panic way. Too much was happening at once. I couldn't sit still. I was just dancing and dancing and dancing and dancing. I could not control my emotions because it was overstimulating. The too many sounds were competing, too many conversations that were overlapping, and there were too many people that were moving in different directions with no pause. When I was there, physically, I was there, but something in me was already leaving. I wasn't anxious. I was not scared. I was just overstimulated. Like, that's the only word that made sense after. And I kept trying to figure out what went wrong. Was it me? Have I changed too much? Am I getting older? Am I stressed? Am I becoming someone who cannot enjoy these things anymore? Or it wasn't any of that. It was just that I finally noticed that my body had been, trying to tell me for a long time that I don't enjoy everything that looks like enjoyment. And that realization, it didn't make me sad. It actually made me feel clearer. For a long time, I used to confuse stimulation with living. If something was loud, it was new, it was fast, unpredictable, I assumed it meant good for me. I assumed it meant I was supposed to, like it. But I'm starting to understand something different now. I don't want a life that constantly pulls me out of myself. I want a life that lets me stay with myself and still feel alive. That night when I got home, I did not feel tired in a normal way. I felt drained in a way that did not make sense to me until I sat with it. It wasn't a physical exhaustion. It was like my system had been overloaded and I just slept. And I was sleeping, not even properly, just collapsed into sleep. And the next day, I kept thinking about it. I wasn't regretting because there was no regret whatsoever. It was not with disappointment. I was just curious. It was out of curiosity because I'm learning that not everything I try has to become something I repeat, but some things I just experience that show you who you are. And I think that night showed me something important. I don't need more noise in my life. I need more clarity. And clarity doesn't always come from doing more things. Sometimes it comes from noticing what drains you. I used to think enjoying life means that I have to start saying yes to everything. Yes to invites, yes to plans, yes to people, yes to places, yes to things I didn't even pause to check in with myself about because I thought that was growth. I thought that was me becoming better, more open, more social, more living. But I didn't realize I was slowly building a life that didn't fit me, a life that looked active from the outside but felt heavy on the inside. And now I'm trying something different. I'm not saying no to life. I'm just learning to say yes to the right part of it and no to the part where I have to shrink myself because I've done that before. And I wanted to wear a skirt, a denim skirt with, top. Close to me was like, no, you have to wear a gown. I went to get a gown, which I was happy because the gown was fine. But when you plan to do something and you didn't do it, there's this, they say be open to change, be open to growth. Yes, I agree, but there's sometimes where you know that this is what you want, this is the vision, but I had to seek opinion, which I'm not saying the opinion was bad, but I regretted. Why? When we got to the event, someone who sat close to me what I wanted to wear, and I was like, she was so beautiful on the denim skirt and the top. And I was like, this is what I wanted to wear, and I knew it was going to work. If I had known, I'll just stick to it, even though I'll be different, even though I'll look awkward, it'd have been better because I know I did what I wanted to. I've been in a room where, or in rooms where I laughed a little louder than I felt, I agreed a little faster than I believe, I stayed a little longer than I wanted, just to not feel different, just to not feel left out, just to not feel like I didn't belong. But I always left those places feeling smaller than when I arrived, and I don't want that anymore. I want to leave places feeling like I still belong to myself, even if I don't belong everywhere. That's something I'm slowly accepting, that not every environment is for me, and not every energy matches mine. Not every fun or fun feels like joy. And seriously, that's okay, because I'm starting to realize I don't actually enjoy chaos the way I thought I did. I enjoy peace. I enjoy familiarity. I also enjoy being in spaces where I don't have to perform anything. I enjoy sitting with people I love and not feeling like, I have to become a version of myself. I enjoy quiet mornings more than loud nights. I enjoy deep conversations more than surface excitement. I love walking without needing a destination sometimes. I enjoy doing nothing without guilt. And maybe that sounds like, oh, this is simple. Maybe it can be boring to some people, but I don't think that life is meant to be constant exciting. I think it's meant to be honest. And I've started to ask myself a new question before I say yes to anything. Not, will this be fun, but will this feel aligned with me? And sometimes the answer is yes, and sometimes no. And I'm learning to respect, both answers equally, because saying yes to everything made me lose myself slowly, and I do not want to lose myself again just to feel included. And I also don't want to isolate myself completely, because I'm trying to figure out the balance, because I do enjoy people, I do enjoy connections, I do enjoy experiences, especially new experience. I just don't enjoy forcing myself into versions of life that don't feel natural to me. I've also realized something else, that I don't need a huge circle to feel full. I need few people, who feel safe, a few people I don't have to overthink around, a few people where silence doesn't feel uncomfortable. And that's enough for me. Everything else is just jara jara, is extra. And I think for a long time I was chasing more, thinking it meant, better for me, like more friends, more plans, more going out, more experiences. And more doesn't always mean better. I think my blessing is learning this in a hard way. Sometimes more just mean more noise, and I'm trying to build something quieter now, something more intentional, something where I don't wake up after a night out and then I'll start questioning myself, something where I don't need recovery from my own life. I still want to try new things though. I don't want to become, someone who is closed off or afraid. I want to try things again and again, but very different, things that I would do not from pressure, insecurity, or fear of missing out, but out of curiosity, like trying new hobbies without needing to become, so perfect. Trying new places without needing them to become my own new identity. Trying new experiences and letting them stay where they are, experiences. I might go somewhere new and, love it. I might go somewhere and never go there again. I might meet people and keep them. I might meet people and let them pass through. And all of that can exist without meaning something is wrong with me. I think I used to make everything mean something about, my own worth. If I did not enjoy something, I used to think I'm the problem. If I didn't fit in somewhere, I thought I was the problem. If I left early, I thought I was the problem. But now I'm starting to see that sometimes it's not about me being wrong, it's just about fit. And not everything is meant to fit. That doesn't make it bad for me. It just make it not mine, and I'm okay with that. I think I'm slowly learning how to live in a way that doesn't fight me as a person, a life that doesn't require me to shrink, to survive it, a life where I can breathe without needing to escape from myself later. And I know I'm still figuring it out. I don't have everything mapped out yet. I don't have a perfect routine or a perfect identity or a perfect understanding of what I want for a long time, but I do know this. that I enjoy my own company. I enjoy the few people that I love deeply. I enjoy peace more than pressure. I enjoy peace more than anything. And I enjoy depth more than noise. And I enjoy a life where I don't have to question whether I belong in my own choices. So I'm going to keep trying, not in the first way, not in a way where I push myself into everything, but in a way where I slowly learn what fits for me as a person. And I'm going to allow myself to leave things that don't, without guilt, without me overthinking it like I usually do, without turning it into a story about who I am. But because life doesn't have to be a performance anymore, it can just be lived. And I think I'm finally starting to live mine. And I'm not afraid to make mistake, as this is how I will learn and grow. Everyone is just living this life. This is their first time too. This is just a reminder to me. Capish?